Today's video is brought to you by Oxido LED lighting. You might think that you can see just fine at night. Well, I did too, until I did this little upgrade. As you can see from this footage, here is some before Oxido LED lighting, and here is some after Oxido LED lighting. The difference is amazing. With high brightness and easy installation, Oxido LED lighting is definitely the route for you. They're easy to install, and they're available for all makes and models. Click on the link in the description below and enter promo code 612motorsports at checkout to get yourself 15% off. Now back to our video. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 612 Motorsports. Today we're going to be replacing an EGR valve on the 95 S-10. If you haven't seen the video where I replaced the map sensor, thinking that was maybe the issue of why my Chevy is broke.
A Chevy shook a shit!
Something
wrong with your Chevy, Jimmer? A Chevy shook a shit! Shook a shit, your Chevy took a shit, Jimmer?
I will put a link up in one of these corners here for that, so check that out. But it's been running a little rough, and I'm kind of narrowed it down to an EGR valve. Okay, so this part right here is the EGR valve. To make things a little easier to reach, I'm going to remove the air cleaner, and that's going to give me a lot of extra room back here. So basically it's just held on with 2 bolts, and it looks like it's about a 3/8. We're going to go ahead and hit it with a little penetrating spray. And it's not in the easiest location to get to, but I think we'll be okay. That line there, and I should be able to get in here a little easier. Be careful not to drop the bolt. I highly recommend getting ratcheting wrenches if you don't have them. They come in very handy for things, especially in tight quarters. So I've got heater hose in the way. I've got a coil in the way. And I can't even tell if this thing is moving or not, to be honest. Okay, I think we got her. And we do. So, let's see how we can get this thing maneuvered out of here. have to use a little plier here to loosen this vacuum line. That's crazy. There. It's so old. Been on there since 1994, probably, when they built it. Okay, this is the culprit. Basically what it is, it's held on by 2 bolts, and there's a plunger. Let me set it down here. I don't know if you can see, but this is a diaphragm inside there. And what that does is recirculates a little exhaust back into the motor. And sometimes that plunger will get stuck, gummed up in this shaft here, or the diaphragm itself goes to hell. And it's just mounted on the back side right here. You can see I still have the old gasket on there, which is good because means I don't have to put the new gasket on. Scrape all that off when it's still intact. You can see that. Still pretty decent. Okay, so I've got the old one here and the new one here. Now, this is the first time I'm looking at this new one, and it doesn't quite look exactly like the old one. As you can see, the bolt is still sticking out, or the shaft, where here it's not. The back is fully enclosed on the new one, the old one is not. The new one, the vacuum line hooks up at 12 o'clock. On the old one, it hooks up at 1 o'clock. So, I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not, and I think maybe I might have the wrong part. Now see, this motor is what they call a VIN code Z, which means it has a throttle body here versus intake with the throttle body off on the side. It's basically carbureted. If you look inside, you can see the butterflies open up. Basically carbureted. So I think what I'm going to do is make a quick phone call to see if I should continue or not, and I will be back to let you know either way. Okay, so I gave a quick call to the auto parts store and just verified that with this VIN Z code engine that I did get the right part, and they did verify that for me, so we're going to go ahead and put it in. I did try to start this up earlier, and the battery, darn trains, and the battery was dead, so I am going to have to jump it, but hopefully everything works out. So let's get it put in and see what happens. Okay, one bolt in. And like I said, not the easiest place to get to, but we got the second one started. And we'll get them as tight as we can by our hand here. And we got that side nice and snug. This side is a lot easier. Okay, that's taken care of. Let's hook our little vacuum line to here. That's a pretty snug fit. Let's get everything back on. Freshen that up a touch. Okay, so we're going to throw some cables on here quick and fire this thing up and see if it sounds or runs better than it did. If it idles, we're good.
Chevy shook a shit.
I give up. I don't know what it could be at this point. That didn't seem to work. It was only like a $35 part, but all things kind of pointed to the EGR valve being bad. So now we can rule out an EGR and a map sensor, which would control air ratio, fuel, mixtures, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what we're going to do at this point. I do have a very big surprise coming in the next few weeks, but until then I think this thing is going to just sit here until I can figure out something else. I'm not sure. I don't want to take it into a shop. I kind of want to figure it out myself because, well, that's part of the fun, right? So I guess that's going to do it for today's video. And as I always say, stay positive, work hard, and make it happen.